Hi guys, I'm Exactchaos and welcome to my Opinionated Facts, a review of Academia, a school simulator. So this game started out a couple of weeks ago, 8th of September, about 2 weeks ago, and it's quite quirky. It looks good. It's basically a school tycoon game where you build and manage a school. You manage the students, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, and you see all kinds of things here: health, needs, subjects, how they're doing, that kind of thing, how they're progressing, their needs, and the like. You also, so that you manage these kind of levels. You manage the teachers and the teacher's abilities. We can't actually see that. So if we want to hire a new teacher, you can see when you hire a new teacher, you can see, oh, this guy has got like a master's degree, this guy has got a doctorate, costs more, but he's got like, see, oh, Janet, she's got a doctorate, and she's got some subject knowledge and so on, and you can find people and see what's best for your school and manage your budget and the like. Okay, so that's the teachers aspect, and obviously all the other staff. So you've got cooks and janitors and workers and so on, and nurses, and you've managed all kinds of the facilities. So you've got cafeteria, toilets, computer lab, library, club, and so on. Those kind of facilities that you manage. It is very similar in terms of look and feel to something like Prison Architect. If you've played Prison Architect, this will be very familiar to you. The way it works is also very familiar. So it definitely has that same feel. It is still in very early access, and thus the content is fairly limited. I've kind of exhausted what I can build. I can still build kind of classrooms for juniors and seniors, but I've kind of exhausted up to now. So what is good about this game? It's got a very familiar and easy feel. It's easy to learn the basics, though there are aspects that I don't quite understand yet. So I don't know how the progression from freshman and so on works. To that, I don't know how that works. I don't know how long a year is, those kind of things. So there's stuff that I don't quite understand just yet, but certainly the feel and working it and building stuff and so on is very familiar and easy to learn. It is kind of, I'm not too sure about this, but to me it feels like it's a unique game in terms of content in a world where where there's so many simulators. Everything has been simulated: theme parks and prisons and malls, and you name it, there's a simulator game for it. Hospitals and airports and everything, but there's not one for schools, or I'm not familiar with any ones for schools, and I haven't done a ton of research. So take it easy on me if there are in the comments. Take it easy. But certainly for me it feels like a unique one, and something that I'm keen on having a look at and seeing how it develops. Okay, so and then it seems like there's a lot of potential for this, a lot of content expansion that can take. Oh, that's the end of the day. A lot of, so you can see it's homeroom time and so on. So I think there's a lot of potential expansion in terms of you can make a school that could be excellent in science and technology, or a school that is literature, a literature genius school, or a school that's really, I mean, I can't even think of all the kind of specializations that you can do with schools. But if you look at schools in the real life, there's so many tons of specializations. I'm sure you can make tons of good specializations. There's no sporting components, there's no extracurricular components just yet. So I think there's so much expansion that can take place over here. So I think the possibilities are fairly endless. So what is bad about this game? At the moment, the content is extremely limited. This that you see here is basically it. You can build classrooms, you can build a computer lab, a library, a club, a clinic, a cafeteria, toilets, janitor's room, a faculty room, and a kitchen. And that's it. So it is very limited. It's got about an hour to 2 or 3 hours of gameplay until you've kind of exhausted everything that you can do. So yes, it's very limited at this stage. Another bad thing in my mind is that so you kind of see something like this. So passing rate is F, the cleanliness is B, but how, and so the overall grade is an F grade. Oh, so I did this as Exact Academy. Embrace the chaos is our slogan. But yes, so you've got this component of grading and so on, but not too sure where the statistics lie that does that. It's still not here. It's still not in the game. So obviously, in a game like this, I would be looking at detailed statistics for this to make sure that, oh, if I build this, if I add that, if I get a new teacher in this, I can upgrade that rating. At the moment, I've got no idea how this works or how you get that rating up or down. So the statistics is also still lacking. So the verdict. The concept is solid. I like the concept. It's obviously still very early access, but the concept is solid, and I eagerly await to see how it develops. It's very similar to Prison Break. Prison Break. It's very similar to Prison Architect in the sense that it just developed and developed and developed, kept developing, and it started out with some with limited content, and then just kept developing. So similar to that. So I'm very eagerly await to see how it develops. In terms of recommending this game, I do recommend it for the die-hard simulator game fans or simulation game fans. Get it now and follow the development, similar to what you would have done for something like Prison Architect. If you are not a die-hard simulation fan, if you're just kind of keen on seeing giving this game a go, I would suggest waiting another 6 months to a year until it gets a lot more content for you to really immerse yourself in the experience. At this point, it'll probably feel like, oh, it's good, I wish it had more, but oh, it's boring after a few hours. And so for that reason, I would probably suggest holding off on getting it until the content is more, or there's more content. Okay, guys, so that's been my opinionated facts about academia. If you've liked this episode, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for some more reviews. Also, if you've got some questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you. Bye-bye.